This conference will now be recorded.
I like hearing those words. Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, March 30th, 2026, 7 p.m. I'll call the meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Cottage Grove to order. We do. We'll do our public hearing first.
Okay.
Or thank you for bringing that. I was looking down
I
too
know.
far already. Public hearing for revisions to section 9.10 and 11.08 of the Town Code of Ordinances, parades and races and false alarms prohibited. Stuff was in your previous packet.
Parades and races was just the changes that you talked about several meetings ago. The big change was that the permit requirement is not triggered until 25 persons or vehicles, when it used to be or is currently 10. The other big change is that rather than mailing a notice to everybody along the route, we'll just rely on the website and social media.
There was
False alarm, the false alarm prohibited, this is the main change.
Another thing that they're changed there is that the deposit is not required upfront. It's discretionary when you approve it. You can decide if you want to deposit, so it'll just be $100 fee. And then when you consider them, if you think there needs to be a deposit, you can impose that.
What, for instance, I understand that whole concept. How much money would we charge? Is that all the discretion? Or
The deposit, I mean,
Yeah.
it used to be, or it currently is $500 of a refundable deposit, so you could do whatever you thought was necessary. Actually, it was a $400 deposit, it was $500 up front. 100 is the fee, 400 was a deposit.
okay. My thought was if we want to put something in there stating board may charge up to $400
It
deposit.
just says at the town board's discretion, a refundable deposit may be required, and then you can set it to whatever you think you need,
Whatever it is, right.
fitting the situation. And then it also still has the provision that if there are any costs to the town in excess of the deposit, we'll bill the applicant or organization. And you can require insurance too.
Motion to close the session.
Well, no, another one.
Huh?
There's
we can.
another ordinance in there.
Right. It's section 11.08, false alarms prohibited. Changes were proposed. Do you want to just read that? Yeah, it's March 2nd, meeting minutes.
See that?
We do have Deputy Miranda here that may have some input into that false alarm change, maybe?
I have something I wanted to add. Nancy here.
Okay, well, I have it here. Right.
Verbal first, written second, and then
Thank you.
ticket.
That's what.
So since the county requires everyone annually to have the permit, I know we're not going through that, you're not gonna ask for that. But the county, I mean, I have a permit for alarm. The county doesn't send out a renewal notice. They don't send out anything. So should it be part of your ordinance that just remind, or it just says you must register your alarm with Dane County Sheriff's or whatever? And then the second part is, if you're gonna, enforce the part, should it go out as a news item that don't forget to renew your permit in January?
We certainly could do that. I am not, because of the fact the county's false alarm ordinances, I've got it in the other room, but it's like 12 pages.
No, I'm just saying about the.
No,
permit.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
Right,
and because of that, and how cumbersome it is, by all the deputies at Mission, is that and the fact that we wanted to change something to make it much simpler
Right.
and easier to handle locally, I did not look any further into the county's one to find out if everybody's permit expires on December 31st.
it does.
It does?
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody's annually, it's renewable on the first of every single year. So if you get, start your home construction, it doesn't get finished till June, you get an alarm put in, you pay the whole $25
Yeah.
to register it, but then it's registered. Then they also have, by registering, you give all the names of who the contacts are. So if it does go off, rather than 911, just send someone out, there can be some phone calls made too.
And then they would have to renew come the first.
Yeah, I have to pay mine the first every year. I just have it marked to do it, but I don't get a bill from the county. They give us a reminder that you have to do it. And I think the only reason I do it is because I was told to do it when I built the house. And you have to do it every year. So the security company said so. So I'm not sure if people are aware or not. Again, the money doesn't go to the town. But if things aren't registered, I think that was part of the thing too, is to make sure that things were registered.
The notifications, the county currently does not send out notifications.
I know the village was looking at doing some permitting, but the only municipalities that have their own permitting for alarms are Dane and Windsor. Everybody else, including Madison, you have to go through the Dane County Sheriff's Office for registration. So it's just a thought, just a suggestion. It's not going to change if your ordinance stays the same, it's still accomplishing what you wanted.
No, and you certainly can go ahead and, well, I've got a request out to LT Moore. I still haven't gotten back how many folks in the town of Cottage Grove actually are licensed.
I
can-
probably did get back. Do
You
you have?
might need a license
I can
to
reach
have
out to him.
an alarm. I mean, if it goes off, we're gonna know it, and then we find out that the people screwed up. Why make this a bigger thing than it has to be?
Well, all we're doing is just, this county ordinance has already existed.
Yeah, and it's only
There, yeah.
it's only for alarms that call up fire or police. So there would be nothing else if there's a water alarm or something. And it's only for those that are dispatched, not audible only. So. Again, it is a county ordinance
Yeah.
and it's already set, so the town doesn't have to worry about it.
And additionally,
We did get maybe that's not. Yeah, I thought I forwarded this to you, but he did send me, somebody, a list. It's not very many. Let me just see if I can pull it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 9 in the town that are registered.
okay,
So I mean, I definitely think I don't know, does it matter to you? Do you guys use that registration if you get a false alarm?
No, the one thing I talked to Deputy Grafton about, it's just like after 3, it's billable, there's a circumstance code, and then they'll put billable, non-billable. Then the issue arises is who are you paying the citation to, which is whether it's the county or now the town.
yeah. The other thing is that the intrusion alarm, that Shotlift was telling me that there are a couple in town that have like more or less like a burglary alarm as opposed to a smoke alarm or whatever. Those just get our deputies dispatched to versus the fire department.
Correct.
And the purpose, not every alarm gets, the fire department gets dispatched out to.
Interesting.
And I guess I would, or my druthers would be to keep this strictly as fire alarm as opposed to,
Well, this ordinance is all alarms.
Yeah.
correct.
Your ordinance is all alarms.
Why wouldn't we want to have it also apply if a deputy is called out?
There's different ways that I've learned that they handle calls.
Okay.
Well, and there's also, I mean, how do you define a false alarm? You know, if someone burns toast, there's a fire. Is that really a false alarm?
We
You
don't
know?
treat it like that.
Huh?
The fire department doesn't treat that as a false alarm.
So, so do you need a definition of what a false alarm is? That there's absolutely nothing going on and it just alarms? Or what is a false alarm?
Well, I guess theoretically, using your example, my take on it would be that you had something combusting in that house that caused that alarm to go off. Okay, whether or not it's still required an active action by the fire department, you know, that's one thing. But if there's nothing going on,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
just,
that to me would be classified as a,
so it's like an alarm dysfunction or something.
yeah, exactly.
This is another thing that came from, Lieutenant Moore. So this is for 2025, there were 19 in the town. There were 19 false alarms reported. But only 4 of them were ones that could have been fined. 5 could not have been fined and 10 were not coded for fines. So we're only talking about 19 in the whole year in the town. And I don't have there's no more details about what the situation was or anything like that here, but it's not that frequent.
No,
So,
not compared to the village, which kind of started this whole process.
right.
How was it handled if somebody was fined?
The county, well, the county.
Dane County gets the money?
Ordinance has an ordinance that can fine too.
Uh-huh.
This says could have been fined, so I don't know if they actually were.
Yeah.
Maybe you know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that, but we were talking about the county, whether if it's billable, if the county's getting the money or the town is. So that's where the
Depends on-
questions arise.
I mean, it depends on which ordinance you enforce, you know, whose ordinance you're enforcing. But I would think that most of these are gonna be after the fact enforcements.
Yes.
You know, the fire department gets back in-house and says, geez, that's the second time or the third time or whatever that we've been in here, and they either write a letter and say, hey, that's the second time, one more time, and you're gonna get fined, or they contact the deputies and the deputies fine them. It's not something that happens during the
Immediately,
response.
correct. It's not like getting a citation for speeding or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
Well, it's just using common sense. That's all it happens. I mean, somebody's got to decide, was this a problem or was there a fire? Whatever, you know?
but I think then you guys will need to direct your deputies when they have a situation like that. Are they enforcing your ordinance or are they enforcing the county ordinance?
We want them to do our ordinance.
Absolutely.
Why even have one if we,
Correct. And the idea, if you want to contest your citation, you got to go to county court and that kind of stuff. And this way,
yeah,
we're still not taking away somebody's right to contest a citation, but we're going to come here locally and it's going to be better for everybody involved.
So that's.
And I'll go ahead.
So the example that I just gave you though is a fire alarm. A burglar alarm is a different scenario. And I don't know how that gets decided, how many strikes they're on. You guys would know that.
I mean, it just doesn't, I think I've responded to one. It was like a false alarm. It was just ADP she tried reaching out to them and they hadn't gotten back to her, but it doesn't really happen too often.
Okay.
I know Grafton responds to one on first shift, but it's not a regular occurrence. Same with the fire. I think a couple weeks ago I responded to one. I think she burnt toast. So it's not happening too often in the county. One question that arose when I was talking to Grafton is whether or not a regular beat deputy responds if fire is going to somehow hold that complaint and wait until contract deputy's in. Because if the regular beat deputy issues a citation, it's going to be a county ordinance.
Sure, and I guess,
Well, that happens with everything though.
yeah,
That happens with everything.
I guess I don't necessarily have an opinion one way or the other. I mean, if somebody other than one of our deputies, handle it, just let them follow their own protocols. I mean, it just,
That's true for any kind of a
yeah,
violation
And
that you
again-
come across as a beat deputy.
correct. And again, if the fire department isn't going to make their, they gotta come back and check their records and stuff like that, chances are one of you folks are gonna be working and you could handle that portion. And just use the report from the beat deputy as the basis for your citation and their information, right?
Yeah.
That'd be how it works.
I think all I'd ask is just if, I don't know if fire could just give us like a bus pass complaint. It says like the violation at the time of, if fire could just be specific on like, we went out March 2nd, 5th, and then that way we could explain to them, hey, fire was out at your house, these dates. And then that way we'll attach it to the ordinance violation,
Yes,
and everybody's on the same page.
we could, yes, we could take care of that part for you.
We're ready to close the hearing.
Let's check with the folks up in front. And anybody have any comments, have comments, one way or the other, support or in that in support of the two ordinance changes?
We'll close the hearing.
There's a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Troy to close the public hearing discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Now I'll get it right this time. I'll call the meeting of the town board of the town of Cottage Grove to order. 7:18. We have a quorum present. Things were properly posted. Let's stand for the flag pledge.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. We have the minutes from our March 2nd meeting.
I would move approval as presented.
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Mike to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Finance report and approval of bills.
So there were 3 loan payments made since the last meeting. They're all due on March 15th. So you have your long-term 10-year note that was for the road construction down in North Star. You had your short-term note last year that was for road maintenance projects and I don't know, I don't know, there's one other one, I can't think right now. But your 3 loans are all due at the same time.
What is delinquent village utility charges?
So you know how we charge like for trash and things like that with the trash bill? Well, the village had a utility charge to a property that's in the town, a sewer charge to something that's in the town, and they were delinquent, and so we have to put it on our tax bill, and then when we collect it, we have to pay it to them. Because that's the only way, they don't have a tax bill for that property.
Is that like a gas or something, or
Yeah,
where they
can't.
put the utilities right down the road?
No, it's a village residence that has sewer or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What happened with the transmission on the baby dump?
Just a gasket leak.
There's also one new report in there. It's page 23. And it's bills that are scheduled to pay with the new purchase cards that we just started using through US Bank. So there's some recurring ones that I'm gonna pay with that with your blessing. The two that go to GFC leasing for the copier lease and also for the monthly copies charge. Those are always kind of short windows that they give us to pay, and then TDS. So I will pay those on their due dates.
The Supreme Court, that's just for our judge, is that training for the judge or
It was,
right at the end of the checks? Or on page 13.
that's for our judge, education for our judge. Well, this is the total, for those checks. There was also one voided check. It was issued to Jefferson Fire, but then they told me one of the invoices that it paid was covered by some credit or whatever, so we voided it and repaid the part that was due.
Motion to approve the report to checks issued 38,513 to 38,571, and then void 38,480, and EFT payments issued of $597,545.02.
Second.
And also the scheduled purchase card payments of $471.78.
Oh, is that?
That's something
Okay,
new.
that's new, right?
Yeah.
Okay, plus that 471.78.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Troy, to approve checks number 38513 through 38571. EFT payments of $597,545.02, voiding check 38480, and also the purchase card payment of $471.78. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Public concerns.
Wait, building
Sorry.
permits.
Building permits in there, I think.
I would move approval of the building permit.
No second.
Motion and a second to approve the building permits as presented. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we'll do the public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Okay. Next item, Plan Commission's recommendations.
We got January and February police.
Where's that at?
Oh, never mind, it's a different order this time. I was looking at the last one.
I didn't make a mistake this time. There we go. Certified survey map review for lot line adjustments between parcel 0711-321-9190-8 and 0711-321-9200-5 at 3346 Vilas Road for new home constructions. Kieran Montgomery applicant, Vilas Woods LLC property owner.
That is a steep driveway.
Huh?
That is a very steep driveway,
That's why it's gonna be partly joint.
but
What's
that's
that?
good.
So that's why it's partly joint.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good plan.
Anybody have any questions on that?
Are the homeowners, are the petitioners here?
I'm Kieran.
Okay. Where exactly are you going to, it's partially joint, but where are you going to be going further up?
So it's gonna be joined for about the first 40 feet of driveway, and then my driveway will turn southeast.
Okay.
And then continue kind of cut and fill, kind of take the slope of the hill and kind of carry that through right into the house.
Because I'm impressed with how they're trying to maintain, keep it from, running off or whatever right now. And so I was trying to figure out where you were going to.
Yeah, so we're going about 40 feet up and then turning south, basically.
Good plan.
Thank you.
I would move approval of the planning commission motion to approve the CSM as presented.
Second.
Motion second to approve the CSM for 3346 Vilas Road. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider feedback to the Dane County Towns Association Conditional Use Working Group on a proposal to amend the Dane County zoning code regarding CUPs. The Plan Commission did not take any action on it because it makes sense. And so, unless someone on the board has something they'd like to add, when I go to the next DCTA meeting, we'll just let them know that Town of Cottage Grove thinks it's good.
Sounds good.
All right, next item, review the January and February police activities.
So something to note, in January, we were short squads and our replacement didn't have a radar. So traffic stops were down in January. Check properties increased. Nothing to note call wise, outside regular monthly patrol duties that we are taking.
What was the reason for the property checks increase? In the-
Just people vacation checks. We had a couple starting in January and then February, the amount we had. So we're doing, if you submit a property check or a vacation check, we're doing at least once a shift. So it's per household, twice a day.
You have a lot more right now because of spring break trips.
Yeah, at one point we had, I think, 4 or 5 a day, so kept us busy. We're driving all around town.
Anybody have any questions?
No?
Keep up the good work.
Oh, then, like I said, February, stops increased because we got a squad at the back. And then, frauds reported. Just be careful who you're giving money to. If it feels weird, just stop. And the Dane County Sheriff's Office isn't gonna call you requesting money.
Did we have a burglary in February out here that ended up being adjacent to Monona or something? Or was that January?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
That was March.
Yeah, I think that was a
Oh,
couple
March,
weeks ago.
yeah, it was March.
That was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Did the guy shoot himself or something, or something drastic happened?
Yeah, it was a chase and then it ended in death. I don't know.
Yeah, Springdale, so.
Huh.
We've been doing patrols around the area.
All right. Thank you very much for your report, Josh. Next item, discuss and consider adoption of ordinance 2026-03-30, amending sections of 09.10 and 11.08 of the Town Code of Ordinances. Is everybody okay with the language?
Yeah, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the ordinance amendments. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, next item. Discuss and consider forfeiture amounts in the tracks system used by the contract deputies when citing for town ordinance violations.
So just to make sure everyone understands what you're looking at, you're looking at the ordinance sections that have penalties that they're typically gonna be citing for. And our ordinance identifies penalties as class by class, A, B, C, D, and most of those classes have a range. And so somewhere in that range, they only are able, and Josh, you correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never actually seen the track system, but this is how I understand it. They have one line. So like if they're gonna go after barking dog, 20.021D, the range is $25 to $75. Whatever you pick as the starting point is what they can cite. They can't pick from 20 to 75. They can pick the number that's in tracks. So what Steve and I thought you should think about, and when you did this a while back, but think about is like if someone gets cited for that, do you want them to get the lowest or the highest? So if they get the highest, they can always come to court and talk it down, but some offenses are more serious and some are not. And so you might pick the lowest for some and the highest for some others. But I think it's something that you should think about. And then the other thing is some of these have these class forfeitures have a first offense range. So again, looking at the habitually barks for the dogs, first offense is 25 to 75, second offense is 75 to 500. The only way you would ever get a second offense amount issued is if you add another line to their track system that says second offense. So you could have, if you thought the first offense should be 25, but you thought the second offense should be 100, you know, you would have two different line items, but you need to look at that range and decide where you want to start with those. Does that make sense?
Is it easy to add a second line in the track system?
I know court services was involved. I'm not
Yeah.
too sure like the,
Yeah, we just have to ask for that.
We just have to give them the information.
But this track system is Dane County, right?
Yes.
So it really has nothing, what
So
is
if
it?
we don't get our ordinances in there, they can't cite our ordinances. They're citing out of that system.
Then don't we have our ordinance, fees and
We
everything?
don't have, because of the way that the ordinance system works, it's not like Josh pulls out a book and, you know, goes through it and then writes out the citation. It's, our information is uploaded into the county system, which then allows him to go ahead and pull up the information for the citation printing, correct?
I'm just looking at what I have in my packet here. I'm wondering if your packet is collated wrong, because I have like 5 pages of the same page.
It is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got the beginning.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you want to table this and and I'll get you the right information, the right
Yeah.
stuff?
Yes.
and-
Basically, what we want to do is have multiple lines depending upon the, so that we don't, and not everybody is going to be charged first offense for everything all of the time. All right, that's the whole,
Well, it's like a burning permit, okay? The burning permit has a range on it, and so, if you, maybe you want to be nice and only charge them the minimum rate the first time, but the second time, if they do it again, maybe you want to hit them harder than the lowest possible second offense one. So, that's what you need to think about, but yeah, I think this was all collated.
Same one.
And if it's done under our ordinance, we get the money.
Yes.
oh yeah, I have the first page, that's
So it's in his
Uh,
track system.
Why don't you pass those all in?
Yeah,
I can control. like speeding ticket, town gets it.
Pass those all in and we'll collate them right.
Thank you.
Your packet.
This one?
Yes, that one. Perfect.
Yep.
Rather than reprint yours.
I'll move the table until.
Second. Motion and second to table till our first April meeting. Discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Next item. Discuss and consider possible public service projects for a Boy Scout den.
I did send it to fire and EMS, that question. I didn't get any response from either one of them yet either. I did have a resident call today who was looking for somebody to basically set up a human conveyance system for moving some firewood at his place. And so I let this person know that was a possible project for them. But I don't know, Dan didn't seem to think he had anything.
I walk as often as I can again, and we are always picking up trash along the road. And I'm wondering if that's something that they would consider. I mean, it can be dangerous along some of these roads, but they are saying that their parents would be with them. And, you know, if they're wearing bright clothing or a vest, it would be a project that would be helpful.
The town has what I would consider an ancient ordinance. Back when I first got on the board, you know, Adopt the Highway thing was just really in vogue, and the township actually has a Adopt the Highway ordinance. Not that we have this Cub Scout troop adopt the ordinance, but there are procedures, as I recall, in there about what you have to do and so on and so forth. And I don't, I mean, so we could, yeah, I guess it's, yeah, I mean, it is. Or if you get a Cub Scout troop that actually wants to adopt a town road somewhere. It doesn't have to be Baxter Road or something, and just basically any kind of town road. And then the town actually has,
Is that actually in our ordinances?
We have one road done already.
Where is it in the
West
ordinances?
Ridge is done.
I'm just looking at
We did.
some public works.
When I was driving home after looking at the Violet Road item that was on our agenda, there's a lot of traffic along Violet Road, and I thought, that looks like a project.
It's not just Violet's Road.
You're right, it's not.
I don't know if that's good enough for Den. That's not Boy Scouts. This is littler kids.
This is little
Right.
kids, yeah.
I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't put them out on the road picking up garbage.
Well, I wouldn't put them along N, but I wouldn't think some of our other roads would be safer. N or BB.
I think that's something to think about.
It is, that's true. And the parents will be the.
Who brought this up to us?
One of the parents.
Wonder if they have an idea.
I think they were thinking more of like parks.
Yeah, cleaning up parks would be good.
I don't, Dan didn't really think there was much.
What do you want me to do? There's not much garbage in the park. I mean,
There aren't.
we'll find,
You got garbage cans there, right?
no.
No.
No, we don't even have garbage
No,
cans.
we carry in and
Bring it,
carry
you
out.
take it.
You take it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
That's why I was thinking the roads, because our parks are really in good shape.
I can imagine if we had trash cans there and be filled full of dog poop.
Yes. We won't talk about what I picked out today.
So nothing at this point.
No, I can't think of anything.
I would leave it up to the parents to decide. I think we used to take our kids out collecting along the roads when our kids were younger and in 4-H.
I
Less
used
traffic then too, but
Used to be a lot younger hunting asparagus along the sides of
Yeah,
the roads.
good point.
Back when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get something back, we can certainly take a look at it.
So do you want me to tell them that they could look and see if there's any roads that they would feel comfortable picking up trash on? Is that what you're saying?
I would like,
Or any idea that they might have.
Well, they didn't have any ideas. That's why they asked you.
Well, that's interesting, yeah.
I would like to put that idea out there. The other thing that could go with that would be to have them contact John at Dane County Waste and Renewables and have a follow-up field trip with what they're doing at Dane County.
A field trip to the dump.
The Dane County Waste and Renewables, they have a lot
A
of.
fancy name for the dump.
That's true. But as much as it costs, or as much as we've invested there, it has.
You
to
always
have a
treat it,
fancy
you try to
name.
be so nice all the time. Ah.
Trying to make this educational for them, you know? They see how much stuff is out there, maybe they won't toss something out the window themselves. So if I need to make a motion on that, if I want to do
No,
it.
we could just
No.
pass on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. discuss and consider the approval of MD Rockers Consulting Work Order Number 4, Highways 12 and 18, and the end interchange area impact fee study.
Mark is online.
Evening, Mark.
Good evening. If you'd like, I could spend a little bit of time sharing what this work order is and why it is. This also relates to the next item on the agenda too. So just some background is, I think the town board knows there are two business park development proposals side by side between current intersection of Highway N and Nat Big Road and North Star Road. One's called the Ironstone Business Park. That's the Houston's proposal. And the other is Vinny Business Park by Don and Marilyn Vinny. Together, they would add several lots for commercial and light industrial development in line with the town's comprehensive plan. Of particular note, the proposals would link and create a new public road from that Natvig N intersection out to North Star Road, which is what I would call a very high priority within the town's comprehensive plan for this area. As part of the rezoning and platting process, the county and state DOT have required and are going back and forth with the developers on a traffic impact analysis. That traffic impact analysis is exploring what improvements may be necessary to the intersection of North Star Road in 12 and 18, and to the intersection of Natvig and Highway N to accommodate this new road connector. And then, what, if anything, in between that and the interstate, or not the interstate, the 12 and 18 ramps. It seems pretty clear that improvements will be required along County Highway N, hopefully, at least initially, along the lines of what's already been constructed on the west side of the road for the current Natvig intersection. And if it's in that realm of improvement, the Houstons have already indicated that they would install improvements that would amount to turn lanes onto and off of this new public road, and acceleration and deceleration lanes on Highway N. That leaves the North Star Road, Highway 1218 intersection. And it seems highly likely that the DOT will require a left turn lane, as if you're coming from Madison and wanting to turn left on North Star Road, that there would be a left turn lane to accommodate that. The town's gotten a preliminary estimate from Houston's engineer that would cost in the range of $125,000 to $150,000. No one stepped into the plate to pay that full amount. This particular work order would be the required work under state statutes to enable the town to charge an impact fee, or impact fees, I should say. So the idea would be that likely the town would have to borrow for the initial cost. And then over time, as building permits were issued for individual industrial or commercial projects within a service area for that intersection, that there would be a proportional amount of impact fee collected by the town from whoever was pulling the building permit for those particular projects. Under Wisconsin law, there's a process that has to be followed to charge an impact fee. And those couple of you may remember about 5-6 years ago, we went through this process for park impact fees. And the process requires a technical study evaluating who's supposed to pay for the impact fee, basically the service area, and then how you're going to charge it. Is it going to be based on floor area of buildings, surface area of outdoor storage yards, some combination? How are you going to accommodate new builds versus additions? All that kind of stuff gets factored in. And then you have to figure out the, more precise costs that you're going to be seeking reimbursement for over time. So there's T's to cross and I's to dots as part of what's called a public facilities study that you see on your screen right now, sort of documented. So the work that I would do would be to select the area within the North Star Road area that would be subject to that fee, work with town folks and engineers on the proposed method for charging the fee, prepare one draft and one final version of this required public facilities needs assessment study under statutes. The fee would have to be enacted into your land development ordinance. So I prepare the ordinance that would officially allow the town to charge the fee. And then provide advice along the way. There's a public hearing requirement, there's a notice requirement, and then attend the hearing and present at the hearing. So this proposed work order, and just to be transparent on 2 points, I'm not an engineer. I think we'd be able to get the precise estimate on the cost of the improvements at that intersection from the project engineer at Snyder and Associates. But that would be that wouldn't be my job, and you wouldn't want me estimating costs of anything like that. And then second point of transparency, for me to do all that I would be doing, my proposal is to not go over $2,400. And I'm happy to answer any questions on that proposed work order, and we can get started on it, next week. And it would probably take to get to that point of being able to have a public hearing about a month to 6 weeks out from there. Thank you.
Okay. I have a question. When Kennedy Road, or the Kennedy housing area was done, the owner of the land paid for everything for the turn lanes and stuff. That's correct, right? And we didn't set up anything when people, did we? When all the houses were built, did we put?
That was just one developer, and this area has multiple developers, so it's hard to do that.
Can't be split in half or whatever?
That's what we got to study to be able to do. We can't just say.
This is looking to account for not only things that we know are coming tomorrow, but also all the additional area on North Star Road that might develop.
No, I understand.
So they all pay their share. So some of them we know, but some of them we don't yet.
Yeah, I know everyone's interested in a shortcut, but I can just tell you there's not a shortcut. If you want to charge a fee that's fair and defensible, you have to go through a process like this.
Interesting.
And the fee is attached to every building permit that happens down in the development, is that correct?
Yeah, it's payable at time of building permit. So, just because a lot's been divided, for instance, doesn't exempt them from a fee. If someone's already built on part of their lot and wants to build more on that lot, they would also be subject to the fee. But we'd have to come up with a reasonable and defensible amount based on the amount of lots and development we'd expect, and take the total price and divide it by that total to come up with a per unit fee. And I'm kind of thinking it would be per square feet of building area, and maybe a component of a fee per square feet of outdoor storage area. That would be a little less. But as you all know, we do have sites that have fairly small building footprints, but fairly large storage footprints. And both of those do generate traffic, that'll affect the intersection. And that's really sort of the key, is how much traffic am I going to generate? And the fee should be based on that. So it's not going to be $2,500 for every building permit. It's going to be based on how much you're actually, generating in terms of traffic based on a reasonable estimate.
Okay, so once that total amount is paid off by these fees, it's done.
It's done. Yeah, and that, if it's a borrowing, it would be the total amount of the improvement plus the engineering to engineer the improvement, plus any interest that the town would have to pay if it borrowed up front, which it probably would have to do unless you got 150,000 sitting around to build the intersection improvement. Yeah, the fees have to be held in a segregated account, just like your park fees are now, and only used for that one purpose. They have to be spent, I think it's within 8 years of being collected. So, the idea being that you'd want development to happen, right, over a certain period of time. You'd want to be relatively conservative as to how much development you expected. But if you were really successful and you had more square footage of building or storage actually built, yeah, you'd have to stop collecting the fee once you spent, you paid for all your expenses.
How about all the things that have been built there already?
Water under the bridge.
Huh.
That's why we
So
want
they
to
basically lucked out.
that's
They
why we
lucked out.
get
Yeah, I
going
mean,
before much else builds, so that it's spread across more.
right. We do have projects, I would say, in addition to those developments that I mentioned, vacant lots with projects in the brewing stage, for lack of a better term, right now.
Because we did put quite a bit of money into North Star Road. For one thing, now it's a different way of doing business. I don't get it.
And we can collect the impact fees prior to any construction done to Highway 12 and 18.
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the town could decide to bear the full cost itself like it did for North Star Road. And then we wouldn't be talking about this either. But I don't think you're going to get any more development, at least in the form of any subdivision plats approved until there's some agreement as to how this intersection and the N intersection, which we hope we've got covered, are addressed. And by all means, if you don't want to pay me, you could pay someone else. I'll find something else to do. So I'm not soliciting for work here. I'm just telling you what you need to do to make it happen.
Are your fees able to be rolled into that?
My fees, no. What is the engineering for the turn lanes.
You don't have an engineering degree in your back pocket that could be? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I can barely manage my yard. You wouldn't want me doing that.
My question is, and I understand where Mark's coming from and Houston's and everybody. Why weren't we doing this before?
As far as
Collecting fees on North Star and we built that road for them, the people that have a business there, and they didn't pay anything, did they?
no, we
Well,
basically,
geez.
it was kind of, well, no,
You know what I mean?
It's different to in my book
It's
because of the
different?
fact, it is. Because of the fact that it's kind of like the build it and they will come kind of thing.
Mhm.
It's basically the township put some seed money toward, an area that we wanted to attract commercial property to. And I mean, to a small degree, it appears to be working. I mean, there are things going on. And with not only with the Vinnie's potential development on the 12 and 18 end of things, Dewey's development up at the north end, the boat guy still has room to put up more boat sheds or whatever he's calling the warehouses. I don't know if Benevet's has got all done yet up there. So, I mean, there's ways that we can kind of, with these new projects, help allay those costs. And unlike the original proposal, moving down to N and Netvig, where the town was gonna eat that whole $500,000, this way, yeah, we're gonna get our money back. I mean, we're gonna end up 0-0 when everything's all said and done. We just gotta go ahead and put the seed money out there first. And, you know, get everything done so we can get the two projects off the ground, because the county will not approve anything until they have a commitment
Oh, yeah, I got it.
on North Star and 12.
So then, Mark, what is your job to do from now until then?
Yeah, I got to prepare this report, and within the report, I got to figure out who's going to pay the fee and how we're going to charge the fee, and do a little math and tie it to the project cost for what improvements are going to be required, which is probably going to be a fill in the blank for a little bit until we get that final DOT blessing, which we hope to get in the next month or 6 weeks to kind of line up with this. And then I've got to put that report in the state statutory form. I've got to prepare an ordinance amendment. We've got to work with Kim to get a public hearing noticed and set up, and help the town through that public hearing process. So that's what you're paying for.
We should charge the village. They'd never know what the hell was going on anyway. Just kidding.
Sounds like we have a lot to get done, so I
Yes,
think
we
we
do.
need to get going.
I would move approval of the MD Rolfers Consulting Work Order number 4, Highways 12 and 18 and Interchange Area Impact Fee Study.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve MD Roffers Consulting Work Order number 4.
I have a question.
Who?
What?
This is Chris.
Oh, hey,
I have a question. Can you not do it in special assessed landowners?
I think, Chris, that we broached that with the town attorney, and the town attorney advised that the impact fee would be the better approach. Kim, I don't know if you have recall the reasons. I could certainly try to dig that.
I actually asked the town attorney if an impact fee would make more sense, because these, special assessment is supposed to be for properties that benefit from something. Well, they don't necessarily benefit from it as much as they impact the need to have it there. And so I actually asked the attorney if there was something like an impact fee that would make more sense, and he said, yes, that would make more sense.
What, the way we're looking at it?
yes.
Yeah.
This way.
What seems logical, then it's fine, I guess.
It's going forward, so jump in now and move on.
And then would we look later on down the way, if this fee all gets paid back to us, that we would still charge some kind of fee to new people building?
You would have to come up with a new project to bill for.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't keep collecting on a project that's been paid for. I mean, that would be a good problem to have, but
Yeah, it would be.
Yes, it would.
By that time, they want a roundabout there.
What's that?
So by that time, they want a roundabout there or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oof.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, discuss and consider the town agreement / commitment for highway improvements to facilitate advancement of Ironstone Commercial Park and Vinnie Acres Business Park approvals.
I can continue on briefly here if you don't mind.
Okay.
The town has offered some preliminary approvals for these two developments. The county has not. We are I would just say stuck in rezoning world with the county for the Vinnie Acres and for the Houston's development called Ironstone. One of the key things the county is seeking to be able to kind of jump forward to the next steps, which would be for them preliminary plating, and then after preliminary plating, final plating, is they want to see some commitment on behalf of the town or the developers to take care of improvements that are offsite highway improvements like we've been talking about here today. What this item is on the agenda for is to identify whether the town board would find a particular proposal for payment suitable along the lines of what we discussed. So just to review, the town would forward to the county a memo or something like that I would work on with support from Kim, or at least review from Kim, for the town to commit to fund the cost of this Northtown left turn lane from 1218 to North Star Road. That's related to everything we just talked about. And that the town with the Houston support would communicate in that same memo that the Houstons would build this public street connecting Nafig Road to North Star Road. And they would improve the intersection of this new intersection. I'm hesitating all the time because it wouldn't be called Natvig on the east side. The preliminary proposal is called Theodore. Must be some relative or maybe a Teddy Roosevelt fan. But in any case, the intersection there would be constructed by the Houstons to a particular standard. It's called a type A intersection, including acceleration and deceleration lanes. So what we'd ask the town board to do is essentially, if you wanted to give us a thumbs up, or if you wanted to approve a motion to communicate those two things to the county, is to say, hey, here's what we're proposing to do to take care of traffic. Can you allow the Vinnies and the Houstons to move past this initial rezoning stage so that they can move forward with more detailed planning and engineering for the subsequent stages.
We're talking about the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
This is just to move forward or whatever.
Yeah.
This is to communicate to the county that we're working on this study, that we have a means to fund this left turn lane, and that we know that the Houstons are willing to pay for a certain level of improvements to end in that intersection.
So move. Let's do it.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Christie, second by Troy to, this wording is going to be,
Dane County.
yeah, to Dane County to commit to funding the proposed intersection improvements at Highway 12 and 18 and North Star Road.
And Mark is drafting this, correct?
I'm sorry?
Who's drafting this letter?
Yeah, this will be, yes, as drafted by Mr. Roffers.
With Kim's help.
Does that make sense, Mark?
Yep. Yeah, that does. That's really the town's commitment here. That sounds great.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Next item, discuss and consider adoption of resolution 2026-03-30A, renaming a small portion of Gaston Road as East Gaston Road.
Where did this come from?
So the village annexed for that new sports complex that left a tiny little part of Gaston Road east of Highway N in the town. And so we call it Gaston Road, the village calls it East Gaston Road, and the county asked for clarification for 911 and things like that, if we would just call ours East Gaston Road.
So they just renamed it because their signs still say Gaston Road up there.
Yeah, well, apparently the village naming conventions require it to be East Gaston, and so they're just asking us, and it's a tiny little, as you can
It was
see.
81 feet or something?
Yeah, it's not even 100 feet, yeah. Just two properties touch it, right? You only have two properties right there in
Yeah,
town.
and one of, well, and most of one of them is in, actually, the property is in the town of Sun Prairie. It's a goofy little area up there.
Oh, my.
So this is the resolution that they provided the language, basic language, and I just kind of made up something else to make a resolution for it.
Who actually does approve it? Is it approved at our level or is it approved at state level or county level?
The town has to approve it, and then we have to record it with the register of deeds.
Okay.
Move approval of resolution 2026-03-30A. Renaming a small section of Gaston Road as East Gaston Road.
Now, this does create one of those islands for us.
No, it doesn't create a,
Yeah,
well,
it does.
it kind of does,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does.
Yeah, it does.
So what what is their plan there?
I don't know, the Department of Administration approved it,
Yeah,
Good grief.
yeah.
What's that, Dan? What are you talking about?
well, there's like 3 landowners in the town of Cottage Grove right there. So, and then it's all village around us and then some prairie.
But they do touch the town road. See,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah, but it's still an island though, because it's village on both sides of it.
yeah.
So we have an island out there.
Basically, we do, yes.
Is that gonna go to the big thing that's gonna happen out there? or-
Well, once those other properties sell, they'll go into the village.
Yeah.
Was there a second to Christie's motion?
And I didn't get one.
No second.
Second by Fogger to approve resolution 2026-03-30A. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item, review revisions to section 16.01 and 16.02 of the town's recycling ordinance for compliance with recycling statute changes.
So the Department of, the DNR contacted us and said that we need to basically amend our ordinance to match state statute by the end of April, and they sent a template ordinance. We redlined our ordinance to match their template more or less. There's a few things we have that they don't have. I did send it to the DNR representative to make sure that they like how I did it, and she said it looks good. So once you see something else, I guess the only thing to do would be to schedule it for a public hearing so we can get it adopted before the end of April.
Did I see on here that they're no longer taking tires, or we have to take them someplace else?
That's, yeah, ever since Waste Management took over, they have not been taking tires.
Okay.
Dean County kicks tires without rims
Yeah.
at the landfill.
They charge it all.
Yeah, everywhere charges you.
They
You know what
did.
they charge?
It's not much.
No.
Yeah, it's a couple bucks a tire.
Is it really? Oh, they changed it then.
Yeah.
It's like $40. We used to go in there before,
No, it's not anymore.
years ago.
They shred them now from the playground.
Okay.
That's what they do with them. We took a load in there last spring, last summer.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad.
That's worth it.
Do you need a,
So you just need to, I would say,
Forward.
set a date for a public hearing before the next board meeting maybe, and then put it on that agenda for adoption.
consensus or motion?
Motion.
I move that we bring forward ordinance 2026, whatever. amending-
1601 and 1602.
Thank you, there we are. Of the town code for compliance with new recycling requirements. And we do it at our next meeting, which would be April
13th.
20th.
20th.
I'll second it, seeing nobody else will. Motion and a second to approve, or to approve recommendation to send it to public hearing for ordinance 16.01 and 16.02 for compliance with the DNR changes. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item. Did everybody get a copy of the email with what the village is gonna be doing up at the north end? And here we go. Village road closures.
Oh, yeah, I got that one.
Okay. Now, I've spoken with Shotliff, I've spoken with Josh, and I've spoken with Jen Grafton regarding everybody of our 3 deputies. Everybody is in agreement that Gaston Road is going to become a living nightmare with the volume of traffic. And I've instructed, and I'm gonna be very blunt about it, you know, to take no quarter, you know, when it comes to traffic on there. You don't have to necessarily quote me on the take no quarter, but I've asked for some very strict enforcement on Gaston Road, just from the sheer volume of traffic. And and I fully anticipate Vilas Road to the north off of BB, you know, for, you know, to also become,
It will be.
yes. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we're gonna try and do our darndest to nip it in the bud. Plus also Deputy Grafton got a really good overweight arrest on Gaston Road here. Was it last week, Dan?
Rather, so
Or Vilas Hope?
two
Yeah.
weeks, 2 weeks ago.
Semi running down the road. And the other thing was that, I'll just kind of digress for a second. It came up Femrite from 12 and 18 headed up to AB, passed 3 semis and 2 fully loaded dumpster trucks
Oh.
on Femrite.
Oh.
And so I let the deputies know about that. I mean, it just, and I'm very tempted just to sit, there's an abandoned driveway out there and just take pictures, you know, of just all of the traffic that's hitting there. And, you know, we've spent time and money on this Class B highway thing, and it's certainly like, besides our 10-ton weight limits.
Something that Dan and I have talked about, and I reached out to the village, I didn't get a response, I don't know if Dan did too, but, so Gaston Road is Class B, but the sign for Class B is not until you get west of the Gaston Quarry entrance.
It's right at the entrance.
Or right at,
Right
okay,
at
so
That's where it
when you're
becomes
gonna,
town.
when they're gonna have those roundabouts closed and people, trucks are gonna try to shortcut it on Gaston, they're gonna get that far before they realize they're hitting a Class B highway. And then, Dan told me that they can legally go to the next intersection to turn around. Well, I don't think we want them turning around on Gaston Circle or Bus Road or anything else along
Yeah.
those front lines. So I reached out to the village and said, would they object to us putting a Class B highway in however many feet or something right at the end and Gaston Road intersection, so that those trucks could maybe know they shouldn't go down there in the first place. I didn't get a response.
More, could be like warning Class B road 80 feet
Yeah.
Mhm.
ahead, you know what I mean?
Otherwise, they're gonna head down there and it'll be too late.
A real warning sign.
Or do we post it 10 tons again?
Well, it
Like we
doesn't
did
matter.
for-
You can't post it till you get, either way, you can't post it.
No, right, but I'm saying, I wonder if it'd be easier, you know, instead of the 40% and some drivers may or may not.
Well, it allows people to do business being a Class B versus shutting it down completely. It's basically mainly what you're stopping is the tractor trailer traffic.
Mhm.
You know, the smaller trucks, I mean, yeah, they're heavy, but you still gotta allow business to happen.
Yeah, you still
know,
gotta do
can't shut-
business.
You can't
Well,
shut
if they have
everybody down.
business, aren't they allowed to go down there
Well,
anyway?
if they're building houses and stuff like that, that's one
But
thing.
a semi, what business would they have on gas?
They're just cutting through. Usually they're just cutting from BB to
Well, they don't
the
wanna go
interstate, because they don't wanna go through. the
25
village.
miles an hour through the village.
Yeah.
So if it gets to the point where that intersection of N and TT is closed though, they're gonna get there and right there is where they're gonna be looking like, well, how else can I get there? And they're gonna, oh, Gaston Road's right here, you know?
Can we get some support from the village about this? It's not our problem, really, you know?
I'll reach out to
I
the
did
village-
send an email
village
to,
president.
is it Josh? Josh and Kayla, is that the two?
Jason,
Jason, maybe. I reached out to them. I didn't get any response at all.
Who are they?
The public works people in the village.
street superintendent and public works
So
director.
that's what I thought is maybe something that came from the board or the board chairman or something would maybe be more listened to. But I can just see that being a real problem with that sign not being until down the road a little bit.
It's been there since, we're thinking 15 or 16. It's been in that location
Yeah,
since the village took over that piece, you know, officially.
No, we did them a real favor by putting in their water line from, you know, all the way down
Yeah.
Gaston Road there too,
That
some
was,
years back.
that was the same year.
Yeah,
and then Dan, you wanted to talk about the bridge closure too.
That's what this is about, yeah. So east of Baxter on Highway BB, they're gonna close that bridge for however many months it takes to replace it. So I was wondering if
The
we
BB
wanna
bridge.
post Baxter and Ridge
Yeah.
and probably West Ridge at 10 ton, that way, you know, we cut at least semis from cutting through. I mean, cars, we're gonna get all the cars. But we don't wanna make it we don't want Taylor Street turn, you know, going out to West Ridge, turn into a truck road. There's not many that drive on it now, so pretty much just up-offs and some farmers.
yeah.
So when's the county supposed to be doing the bridge on BB, they say?
I heard June.
June?
Mhm.
So,
I imagine they're waiting for school.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the first week of
Makes sense.
June or so, they'll probably close it. We'll probably see signs here popping up in another month or so.
What
yeah,
was it?
because they're gonna do the end bridge
As well, yeah,
at the same time.
but that starts in.
June 15th, it says here.
Oh, I thought it started May 15th. Okay, June.
No, the TT stuff starts next month. Yeah, and then after all that's done, they're gonna redo the roundabouts on the north end.
We do them.
I heard you gotta make them
They're
bigger.
adding a turn lane on the north one off the interstate. They're adding a turn lane there to go for the trucks to go to Amazon. And then they're gonna clean up the one by the gas station there to make it easier for the trucks. And then the other ones are just getting restriping, I heard. Well, I watched a meeting, they had a meeting about it all. It didn't seem too invasive though, the roundabout part.
Well, the TT, you know, the roundabout there to get into the village, that's confusing as hell. I've, at least 3 times I've had a car turn right in front of me,
Yeah, they're gonna make that.
or they'd have gone back to Milwaukee.
They're gonna try to make that less confusing.
Yeah, it's not a good, good setup there. I wouldn't want a bunch of trucks being on it and, you know, force somebody off the road for,
Sure.
because they're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, TT's supposed to be closed like in a week or two.
Yeah,
And then it's gonna be closed until end of June.
2 to 2.5 months, it says.
Jesus.
And then it's gonna, and then end's gonna be closed from June, beginning of June till September.
Mid-September.
Yeah, September or something.
Wow. It's gonna be interesting.
And then BB will be closed from June until September, middle of September.
Yeah.
So every road, 2 roads that come in to Cottage Grove will be closed completely.
Yeah, well, at least it's not the west side of the road, you know, going into Madison. That'd have been a real nightmare.
It will be
Going to
eventually.
Deerfield, I don't think that's that big a deal, really.
Unless you live on the other side of the creek.
There's a lot of traffic.
Yes.
There's a lot of traffic on BB
Yeah,
though.
you gotta figure it out.
Yeah, how would you go?
I'm gonna have to go east, come back and then Taylor, like you said, but not in my semi. So I'll have to go up by Uphoff's, come around and then come back in Taylor, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taylor would
I won't
be,
make the first truck anymore.
boy, that would sure make Taylor Street busy. Holy man.
Yeah, it is gonna be busy.
Yeah.
And then what's the timeline for the city to close the bridge on BB over the interstate? Are we gonna redo that one? 27?
What?
Yeah, that's another year yet.
Make it 4 lanes?
Yep.
But it's, I just don't understand why they didn't do it in the first place. That was so stupid. Everybody said, well, everything's 4 lanes everywhere. You know, Jesus. But that will be a nightmare.
BB going across over the bridge.
And,
I'm sorry,
and then again, 27, yeah.
Oh,
They
so
built
that's
it,
next
uh,
year. Oh, the bridge, they're gonna do that before they do.
Yeah, that was like,
Yeah.
what, 15 years
And
ago?
bridge north,
They built that and
Amazon building.
Yeah.
saved a few
By
bucks.
T, by T. So that's gonna
So
go
stupid.
Amazon entrance.
So are you gonna
Yeah.
take any action to do
Oh,
any
yeah,
road
that was-
postings or anything?
So you saying keep the Class B highway sign up there?
There's no class B, oh, you mean
Yes.
Gaston? Oh,
Yes.
Um,
And then I'll contact the village president and see if we can't get, so you want to actually move it down to somewhere near where the coffee?
well, I wanna post a sign saying, you know, class B
Warning.
highway, 500 feet ahead.
You
something
can't
like
really move it because you can't put class B before
You
you
can't.
hit.
Yeah. We can't restrict those trucks. We just have to put a big
Agreed.
sign saying, I'll measure the distance, but yeah, that's what it'll say. It'll say a class B road, 500 feet ahead.
Okay.
A big warning sign.
Yeah, I'd even put warning.
Mhm.
And then the ones that Edna Vilas, it's already there,
Yes, yeah. I mean, nothing else we could do there. We
We
just
could
have-
probably put one on bus too. That way they don't, we could put one down by where they pull into their construction entrance maybe. On bus. So they
Yeah.
know when they get to Gaston that our portions, because we don't have one there. They just get on the gas and they see the signs.
do you still have problems with cement trucks coming through? No?
No, we've been getting delivery trucks again though. Tractor trailer. Going into that subdivision. Well, they go right down Sandpiper really. Followed one the other day, went down through Sandpiper and then turned on Killian, went towards the school there.
Yeah.
And then into the subdivision.
Mike Duplay would have let us know.
Yeah, yes, for
But
sure.
But it's a lot less than it used to be. It's really cut down.
Well, it'll be interesting anyway, it'll
Yeah.
all work out.
So
And
do
then,
you
and then I would probably post like Baxter. Ridge on at least the south side.
Not through the whole
of
road.
BB, well. I don't wanna do the north end. I don't wanna deal with that.
Oh, understood. Well, if they gotta go north, they gotta come south.
It's a terrible road already, so.
Yeah.
But I meant on the south side of BB,
Oh, okay. I thought,
post that, and then, we'll probably have to post West Ridge and up off, I'm sure too. To kind of stop them from cutting through there.
But even if the village can just do more driving down that road during the day, being on the road if we need it, because we'll only have one guy on, one person on, during that time. And if you want to really stop anything there, you got to slow the traffic down.
true.
So you want to post those all 10-ton?
Yeah, we'll put those tents on.
When do you wanna do it?
When the construction starts, I would say. So when they start putting their signs up to notify us when construction starts,
Okay,
because June 15th, that's probably a rubber date right now,
yeah.
So are you gonna start way out here at Nora, so they don't?
It'll be right at where Nora and Up Off meet, so they can just keep going to Nora if they want.
Oh,
And then we'll mark Ridge on the far end by Jargos,
okay.
so that'll be all cut off. Let
Okay.
Houston's get to their farm and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking. Because they do a lot of truck driving to their farm there, so
Sure.
I'd hate to shut them down too.
They're
I
not
mean,
the
we could
problem.
give them a permit too, really, but.
Yeah.
Just
You're
kind of,
just really trying to shut through traffic off.
yeah. Yeah, and if they have to go out by Norris, so be it.
Yeah.
And go the wrong way.
Do you need a motion for all that then?
Yeah,
Holy moly.
yeah. I've been taking notes, so I'll give it a shot. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, I move that we direct the town chair to contact the village president to allow the placement of a sign warning of a Class B highway ahead on Gaston Road, correct?
Mhm.
Next item would be to post 10-ton weight limits signs on Baxter Ridge to the north, correct, or just?
South of BB, Ridge south of BB.
Oh, yeah, Ridge south of BB. West Ridge.
Yep.
And Uphoff.
Yep.
For the duration of the construction on the bridge on Highway BB. Anything else?
Gaston, oh, Vilas.
Vilas is already posted, correct?
South side of
Yeah.
BB, the south side of BB.
Yep.
Vilas.
Vilas is both directions, yeah.
Second the motion.
Motion and a second, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Now, the most important item on the whole agenda for this evening.
I move approval of resolution 2026-0330B, appointing the town clerk treasurer to a 3-year term.
Second.
There should be no discussion on this one.
No.
All those in favor say.
Object.
Denied.
Didn't hear.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Set the date for the annual road and park inspection.
What do you want?
Well, we probably should have it done before the 20th meeting, probably, huh? That's what we usually do, that. Then we approve all that stuff or whatever.
So that you can go out for
Go
bid.
out for road bids, yeah.
Yeah,
Cause we usually go out in May then for
yeah,
first week of May.
yeah.
So 6th through the 10th or 13th through the 17th.
I prefer 13th through the 17th. How about Tuesday, the 14th?
Can't, it's garbage day for me. Just don't. Oh, it's also recycle day too for us. I'm okay on the 14th if somebody, like,
Whatever.
I'm fine with it.
What day is that on?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. What time do you want to do it?
We usually do 10 to noon or whatever, 10 to whenever.
Sounds good.
ooh, excuse me.
I move we do it on the 14th of April at 10 o'clock.
Stand by a second. I'm just. Motion is second to
I don't have a second.
Me, second.
Mike. To designate April 14th as road inspection day, 10 a.m. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Public Works.
Road right of way permits. We've had a couple since the last meeting. One of them, Charter Spectrum was, that's a marking out on Dvorak and North Jargo roads. They have a project there where Line Energy put in a new line and hit a fiber, Charter's fiber, so now they have to put a new fiber in the ground. So that's what that one is. And then another one, Line Energy for new gas hookup in Kennedy Hills. that second phase there on Scenic Oak. That house just got dug today, so that'll be a little while.
Now, is that just for an individual property or is that for
That
the?
was just a one house, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then compost is open. We're hauling compost already like crazy. I took 3 loads in today. We took two in last week. So that's really picked up. Even with that little snow, it never really slowed that down. Looks like we're gonna be probably mowing grass before we're plowing snow again. So we've been going, like today we went through and picked up all the sticks and stuff in the parks and did that kind of stuff since it was so nice out. We were able to kind of drive in the park today too, so. Started doing that. What's that?
On the tree and sticks. That's by my part.
All the logs in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, here someday. I'll do that when the guys are busy. It's a good solo job for me.
All right. I mean, I'll certainly come and help.
No, I can handle that. But yeah, that's where we're at now, finishing up trimming trees, doing stuff like that. We got a bunch more to do yet, tree trimming that is. And you've probably seen Ash Blundy out trimming for Line Energy. If you haven't, they're all over the place. There's a lot of them. There's 14 trucks on Nora and Jargo's the other day.
Oh, my goodness.
They want to be in and out in a couple weeks, so.
You could tell where they've been because you're just driving along and you see these bright white spots on the trees where a branch used to be. I mean, it sticks out like a sore thumb, you know?
I asked them today if they could take a blower and at least blow the road off when they're done, because they made one heck of a mess on West Jargo on Friday, so.
Some places are just blowing the stuff out into the ditch.
Yeah, which is fine as long as it's areas we mow and not where somebody actually takes care of it, you know?
Yeah.
I told them to watch for that too. No, other than that, I imagine we'll be taking plow equipment off here soon.
I
We'll
hope
get,
so.
we'll get through this week and see how temperatures look, but I don't think we're gonna get anything this week either. Looks like they upped the temperature for Thursday now. That's all I had.
Okay. Clerk treasurer's update.
Election next Tuesday. Public tested voting equipment is this Wednesday. Jen's on vacation, so I'm alone in the office all week, so it's a busy week for me. That's about it. Oh, the audit, I got the draft report today, so I need to get busy looking through that. That's about it, I think.
Have you had many absentee voters?
Over 200 ballots are out. I think it's 153 of them were back as of today. So, yeah. And, in-person voting is going on right now and to the end of the week. So we have to stay open, or we have to stay or be available until 5 p.m. on Fridays. So I'm always open until 5 on the Friday before the election, but people can also request ballots up until 5 o'clock on Thursday, so I might as well stay here then too, because about the minute I go home, somebody wants one. So I'm always here until 5 o'clock that Thursday and Friday. So. Yep.
Board reports and communications. Let's see. I got an invite, a general invite on April 7th at Flynn Hall. There's going to be an Eagle Scout Quarter of Honor honoring Arya Prasad and Sam Schukert. Apparently they're gonna be getting their Eagle Scout awards.
That's the meeting, that's our
That's the
normal
election
meeting
day.
for the American Legion, right? Second Tuesday,
That's the first Tuesday.
That's the first.
14th?
No, the 7th.
Oh, the 7th, okay, yeah, we're fine.
So anyway, congratulations from the board to these fine gentlemen, and a lot of hard work goes into earning your Eagle Scout badge.
But they didn't go through us for a project or anything, huh? Neither one of them.
Not that I'm aware of.
Wonder where they went. Yeah. You guys have done some good stuff for us, you know.
They have.
They had,
And then, one other thing that, speaking of scouting, on the south end of the township where the Welcome to Cottage Grove sign is, it's going to be very close to where all the development's gonna be taking place there and everything. And so, I was gonna ask the Houstons tonight, I'm gonna get with the Houstons to, see if they can't leave it as is, because I didn't realize, or I had forgotten, that Kim was saying it was a pretty big deal to have that area for that sign down there.
Well, we had to get an easement granted to the town and recorded with the Register of Deeds.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm hopefully don't have to move it, so.
Yeah.
That's all I, excuse me, that's all I had. Anybody have anything?
Deer Grove EMS Commission met on the 19th. And I did bring the 2026-2036 capital budget plan. I can give it to you, Kim, so you have it.
I think we have.
You do have it, okay. Mine's all written up, so. They, this year, replaced response vehicle C-17-9. And for budget year 27, we're hoping to use fund balance to purchase the power cot and load system, which are the two items coming up in, not this year, but next year. Taking advantage of the fund balance, which we've had generously in previous years because we've been ahead of the projections each year for income. 2026 is proving a little different. We're slightly behind in our projection on income so far this year, but it's early in the year. It's only the February report that we have, so there's time. Also talking about doing a survey of paramedics. It was done
2022.
2022.
So they're commissioning a new one, internal.
Right. So that's the only other news.
Landfill,
Yeah, good.
I'm just gonna say, we paid the bills. And that was pretty much it there.
Then when are they're gonna be coming in next month for speaking with us?
Who's that?
The engineer with them?
Strand? No, we don't see them till September.
Oh, okay, all right.
You had the monitoring, all those results.
Right, we had numbers.
For calendar year 25.
Yeah.
Nothing's out of whack and all the results are where they usually are. We have detections of bad stuff, but it usually have that when you have a landfill, so.
Emergency government, we didn't have a meeting because you weren't there and Richard Wood's wife died. So I didn't know if you knew that or not. So we have been missing a couple of people. I've been talking to him quite a bit. You know, I told him if he thought the town could do anything for him, we'd be there, whatever. So he's well aware of that. Very appreciative. He's getting along. So that was just quick. But
Not a good place to be.
yeah.
Cottage Grove Fire Commission.
Another decent meeting. Nobody swore at anybody.
No. The village is still working on their version of the false alarm ordinance, and we were just like this for so long, and all of a sudden the village is just
Totally different.
Yeah, it is, and I'm afraid there's nothing we're gonna do about it, and, yeah. The only thing we seem to agree on is first strike is a verbal, second strike is a written, and third is, and their proposed first offense for citation, $250. Again, and then the fire department is completing the purchase of a piece of training equipment that can simulate various roof designs. I mean, it's this gigantic platform that can tilt and angle and so they can practice, and it's a wood, sacrificial wood, so they can practice cutting and sawing and Paul Bunyan's, hacking away with the axe on this thing. Yeah. It's supposed to be here, what, the end of, middle,
Yeah, it's at a show right now, so we're getting it a little late. We'll get it in a couple months.
okay. And it's gonna be stored, here at the fire department. And, the chief says he'll demonstrate it to anybody. We'll set up a demonstration, just to kind of give an idea of what kind of, training they can do on it.
Did the commission approve the use of Pleasant Springs funds for that?
Yep,
Yeah,
I know.
50% of the cost? what they wanted?
Yes.
I think it was, yeah.
That was about it for fire, I think.
Yes.
Last item,
Move we adjourn.
Second.
motion and second to adjourn, non-debatable. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good night.
Good night.
See you later.
Yeah.